morning, Sainers, and welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome to Saints TV Weekly for April 14th, 2025. As always, thanks to our sponsor, Inglewood Coffee Roasters. Check out their website, www.inglewoodcoffeeroasters.com.au. They've got a discount code. Use that on their website. You'll redeem a discount on coffee, tea, and chai products. Okay, so not a winning weekend for the Sainers, unfortunately. We played the GWS Giants in round 5 of Gather Round at Norwood Oval, our favourite oval, and unfortunately we went down by 28 points. The Giants were just too good, too clean, too slick, too big, too quick, everything you want to say. They were exactly what a good GWS Giants team is when they play to their capacity, and we started the game well. We kind of had moments in the second quarter. Third quarter got away from us big time, and they just took complete control of the game, even though we had more inside 50s for the whole game and only 2 less marks inside 50 for the whole game. But we just couldn't stop their rebound through the center of the ground, and they got us on the turnover. Anytime we made a mistake, they punished us, which was just, we've gotten away with mistakes this year, and teams have let us off the hook a little bit. Giants didn't let us off the hook, and that is a top 2, top 3 team in my eyes. So I've got my review out. You can check that out. It's on the YouTube channel. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the streaming platforms out there. Check that out. To be honest, when we went to that third quarter, I was a bit worried that this would blow out like the Adelaide game and beyond that. And to the credit of the team, we battled it out. We finished well. We kept them goalless in the last quarter. We kicked 4 of our own and bridged the margin to 28. So that's a good sign going into the Dogs game on the weekend. But obviously that third quarter back into the second is a major worry. But again, it's another performance I think we can take a lot from and improve from. Garcia was a standout for me. Nasir, Mosh man of the match, absolutely. No surprise there. So unlike the Adelaide game where I walked away from that thinking, geez, we're shit, I walk away from this going, well, there's room for improvement. There's definitely a lot there that we can fix going into the rest of the season. So Giants too good, but 3-2 after round 5, I think we'd all take that. Quick injury updates. There wasn't really anything yesterday. I know that Rowe Marshall looked a bit sore, although he finished out the game like Ross said in his presser. Same with Stocker, finished out the game. Jack Steele returned, didn't look fit at all, so I don't know if he was still carrying a bit of a knee injury or he just wasn't confident in his body, but he just wasn't Jack Steele. In terms of others, Hunter Clark, he was listed as 1-2 last week, so that might actually be 1 week coming up. Dan Butler could be touch and go this week, 1-2 potentially. Jack Carroll, the same. Mateus Filippo could be 2 to 3 weeks at this point, which is really exciting. Could be back before round 9-10. Dougal Howard is exactly the same. And I'll tell you what, a game like yesterday, you need a Max King forward of centre and you need a Dougal Howard, because in the air we were just dominated and we need as much height as we could have, and we had none. So those players are going to be welcome additions. And speaking of Max King, he is TBC, supposedly a setback, calf and knee, another 3 to 4 weeks away, or potentially 6. I've done a video on that, so you kind of know my opinion on that. Paddy Dow, TBC as well. Zane Cordy, TBC. So those are the injury updates. They will be formally updated tomorrow afternoon. No VFL this week either. So Sandy had the bye, I believe, after being smacked by the Giants the week before. So they should be back in action this week. And they are taking on the Brisbane Lions VFL side at RSCA Park on Saturday at 11. So not a bad time slot, actually, because we play on the Sunday night. So that's definitely an opportunity to get down and watch some Sandy boys play at 11 on Saturday in Moorabbin. So not bad at all. Swinging to some latest news. And this one is actually one that's close to a lot of Saints people's hearts. I know some people that are very touched by what the club's finally done. And in that, they have settled the financial debt they owed to a group of past players from 1979, I believe. Obviously, this is before my time, but 1979, the Saints asked a number of players to basically reach into their own pockets, use their own money to help dig the club out of the financial hole that they were in. And last week, I believe it was, they have reinstated, they've actually repaid these players the money that they've been owed since then, which is just insane to think it's been that long. And some of the players that were repaid their money where I believe Alan Jeans, the coach, the only premiership coach of the football club, his family will receive $27,000. Alex Jezelenko, $24,000. Barry Breen, he got back $35,000. That's a credit to Andrew Bassett and the rest of the footy club for getting this right now. And I think that kind of helps the club step in the right direction. The AFL had to sign it off, but because St Kilda are a club who has to get a lot of their funding, obviously, from the AFL, but it was signed off, and those funds have actually been repaid, which is a great sign. Nick Rewalt said it's been something that right the way through all the players have been aware of, because the reality is clubs, when faced with this situation, historically they've folded or they've been merged. So the sacrifice that these players made through that period was significant. Like that's incredible. You think about it in your own shoes, they would have had families, they would have had children, they were trying to support. So credit to Andrew and Carl for finally getting this done, because there's been a lot of noise about it for a long time. So that's the news, and that's great news for the footy club. So yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Moving on to some trade news. I mean, it's round 5, but there is some trade news, believe it or not. Updates on Tom de Koning, who has parked his contract talks with Carlton. He's now thinking over the giant offer from St Kilda. Jay Clark on Fox Footy mentioned the pause button has officially been hit on Tom de Koning's contract. He's holding off for now. St Kilda is chips in on the big man at $1.7 million a season. They've met with him already. Expect another meeting potentially over the mid-season buy with either de Koning or his manager. But the door is very open here. De Koning is weighing things up, and I think his head has been turned not just by the massive money that's on offer, but St Kilda's good form. I think in the back half of this season, we might get close to a decision on his future. And he also goes on to mention that St Kilda are very confident. There are people at St Kilda that will tell you they're very optimistic now of securing him. They weren't able to bridge the gap last time around. Carlton did offer a little more, but now this time the gap is around $700,000, and St Kilda is brimming with confidence about Tom de Koning. So that's where that sits at the moment. Saints are very confident of getting TDK from Carlton to Moorabbin. Swinging to tipping, I got 7 out of 9 this week. Saints, obviously, I got wrong. I don't know who the other team was that I got wrong. No one got a perfect score, so I think the most was 7. No, there's a couple here. A couple of 8s, but no 9s, sorry. So hopefully this week we'll find someone that can get the perfect score, but it was a tough round, and I'm happy with 7, so I'll take that. And now for round 6. It is Easter Sunday night football, 7:20 p.m. I think at Marvel. It's very weird on a Sunday night at Marvel, but we'll take it. It is a Bulldogs home game for home members. It is a Bulldogs home game, so you might need to sort yourself out. The last 3 times we've played the Dogs have been pantsed. We'll go into this in more detail in my preview, but it's a 50-50 game for me. I don't know if we get anyone back. Maybe Liam Henry plays. Maybe Boxall debuts finally. I'm not too sure, but we're $2.39 to $1.58. Our form against the Dogs recently is not good, but on current form this season, we are 3-2. They are 2-3. They've lost to Fremantle and Brisbane the last 2 weeks. They did lead Brisbane on the weekend by like 40 points and lost. So they are going to really want to come out of the blocks. And the big one, Marcus Bontempelli might be back. So awesome news there. But we'll talk about that more during the week once we get the injury updates from the Saints. Big game, winnable game. We win that, we go 4-2. Season is firmly alive. It still is anyway after that loss, but we need to bounce back, and hopefully we do. So on that note, Saints, thank you very much for watching. Please like the video, comment your thoughts, subscribe as well. Love to get to 14,000 as soon as possible. I think we're on 13.2 now or something like that. Podcast tonight, 5 things we learned later this afternoon like last week. So stay tuned for that around 4:30-ish. And then obviously all the content during the week. So enjoy the rest of your week, Saints. Take care. And as always, go you mighty Saints. See you guys.